Charles, as I mentioned, was born in Walter Reed, and has always been a boy's boy and a man's man. He enjoyed doing manly things when he was growing up. The attacks on 9/11 happened, and in a mixture of patriotism and the need for college money assistance, he enlisted in the Guard.
It affected my husband the most. He knew too much. He was aware of way too much. He, because of the people he knows and the circles he's in from West Point, he was much more aware of things than your average person.
And that evening he went on a first patrol before sunset. And as they're driving down the street, a guy popped out of the door, pointed an AK-47 right at Charles and shot. And missed. And Charles fired back and didn't miss.
It's hard to think of your little brother, and he's, oh God, I don't know how old he was, 21, 22, and, you know, he took somebody's life, and I'm sure that it was a completely justified thing to happen, but it affected him without a doubt, and I think it affected the rest of us if we think about it too, you know.
I had trouble sleeping. I ended up having to take sleep medications.
It's like, while he was gone, it was a revered topic. I mean, if someone mentioned his name, you know, silence fell. It was like, it was kind of weird, you know. It's not like he wasn't dead, you know. Like sometimes when people are, you know, after people pass. But it was almost like there was this waiting time just to see that, you know, he wasn't quite here with us, even though he wasn't gone, you know. It was just, was kind of generally accepted that this was not a topic to be brought up. You know, we were protecting the lady.
When I grew up, my grandmother always treated me as normal. So I always thought I was normal. But of course, you know, you're not normal. But I was going to try to do everything anybody else was doing. Yeah, nobody would hire me. Because nobody would hire the handicapped back then. So I applied at the phone company, but they wanted you to take a test, but the test was written and I couldn't finish it, so I never passed that test. But in '78 they passed the Handicap Act, so I reapplied and I was able to get into the phone company. That was like 30 years ago. That was the greatest time of my life. Having kids. The hardest thing I ever did too, but
I wasn't scared, I was just nervous because I had trouble using my right hand and I didn't know for sure if I could do it, but it worked out okay. Figure out a way to do whatever you have to do, you know. But I wanted kids. Well, I adapted, like I learned to put on the diapers and change the diapers and dress, you know. I just did it, as they say, my way.
born and raised in California, a product of migrant farm workers. We did farm work in Fresno picking grapes, Hollister picking apricots, cutting apricots, and then coming back to Cork Run to pick cotton, chop cotton. I've been lucky enough to be in a place, in a position where I could help people. And I remember one girl called me and she said that she had just come from, I don't know if it was Pennsylvania, where her and her children, and she needed help. And I said, well, where do you live? And she gave me an address. And she says, I'll wait for you outside. And I said, okay. And I said, what kind of work are you doing? Well, she says, I want to go pick blueberries. Or a lady said that I could go with her to a packing house. And I said, oh, okay. Well, I said, can we go in so that I could fill out my paperwork? I asked them that because I want to see the conditions of their living conditions and see if I have something that I could give them to help them out and that. Well, I guess I was horrified. She said, well, she said, yes, come on down, but I live over here. And I said, where? And it was a hole in the wall. It was cinder block that had been cut or broken, and you had to go through a crawl space to get to where they were sleeping. They had two twin beds, those not even beds, they were like cots. And there was, I think, 3 children and the mother. There were some little bungalows, and they used to lend them to homeless. And I called, and I was lucky enough to find somebody that said, oh yeah, we have one available right now if they want to come over. I was feeling really lucky. I thought, boy, I'm getting this done, I thought I was really doing great. Then we went to a place called Rural Opportunities, and they help people with food or food vouchers. And they gave us some food and some food vouchers after I told them the story. And so we went to buy groceries. I says, come on, let's go buy some groceries. You pick what you want, da, da, da. And she says, she was very happy. And we had the kids with us, and we went in the grocery store, and the little girl opened her mouth, and tears were coming down her eyes. And I said, what's the matter? She says, we haven't eaten in 2 days. And I said, oh my gosh, why didn't you tell me? She said, you were doing so much for me. I couldn't ask you to do more. And it's important. That is more important than anything. You should have told me. Well, anyway, we hurried up and bought the groceries, and we went to McDonald's, and the little girl couldn't eat. The other kids were eating because they had the food from the school, but this one was a preschooler. The little girl couldn't eat. So that's my story. And I hope that it'll help somebody recognize the need for the people that come here and not be so condescending or whatever. Next time you see somebody, even though you don't speak the language, say hello. It means a lot. It means a lot. Cut.